Hello everyone. So I actually feel very honored to be here in the midst of very powerful women, strong and very impactful women. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of stories because the women that have spoken before me have really touched a lot of topics, So I'm just going to come and point out to one thing that I feel is holding most of us back. I got married when I was quite young. It may not be young for most of our mommies because as at that time they married way earlier, but for me it was young. I was 23 when I got married and I had my first child a year after my marriage. You can imagine that as a very young woman, I just graduating from school, trying to defend my project, and I just got married. So I'm trying to, get used to the married life. And I now had my first child. But then this first child, first of all, the trauma of having to remain in the hospital for almost 6 weeks because my child had issues, had like a complication at birth because of the carelessness of doctors, of the people that were supposed to be taking care of me at that time. So I didn't know what to do. I was down, I was broken. It's my first child, so this was all new to me. How do I handle this? And no matter how we try to encourage ourselves and tell ourselves, oh, it's going to be all right, the reality is still staring at you, staring at you in your face, How do we cope? And somehow, God blessed me to be a young, very smart woman that made a very right choice with the kind of man that she married. Women, if you're listening to me, you have to be very intentional about the kind of person that you get married to. If you feel like you want to get married, you have to be very, very intentional. See, select your partner like it is a do or die affair, because it actually is a do or die affair. Your partner will make or destroy you. I knew that I needed someone that had empathy. I needed a kind partner. Not just to me, but people around you. And I also needed a man that would be so worried about my well-being, my future, my goals. And when I met my husband, he was so bothered about my future. What is your goal for this term, this new semester? What do you want? How do you want to approach this semester? Write down your goals. Write down your list. I'm like, okay, you're disturbing me. He said, no, it's good. Right. So fast forward to when we had our first child and this issue happened. My husband stood like a rock. My husband encouraged me, pushed me. Even when I wanted to enter into the pit of depression, my husband would tell me, say, look at me. Don't worry, you'll be fine. At some point, when you have a problematic child, if you're not very careful, your whole life, you may not have a chance to pursue destiny anymore because you're too busy trying to look for a cure for your child. I was there. One day, my husband told me, sit down. Let me tell you, in case you don't know, I studied medicine. This, your daughter, has cerebral palsy, and the damage is not light. It's very intense. That they have to put her to sleep because if she's awake, she's in pain all the time. This girl would most likely be a vegetable all her life. I am your husband, I'm speaking to you. It is time for you to face your dreams. You cannot continue to do this. How long? I know my wife. I married a woman that is great. I married a woman that will touch lives. I married a woman that will talk to people, talk to nations. So you cannot, if you continue this thing, in the next how many years you'll be here? Please, I think God beg you, straighten yourself. Let's move. Don't worry yourself. Me, I will not leave you. I will not forsake you. We are in this together. That's how I had the encouragement to stand up and to push. So I was very well versed in relationships, marriage. Even when I wasn't married, I knew how to talk to married people and make them overcome issues that they had, So I used to do this thing I graduated from accounting in the University of Calabar, but I didn't want to take it to the professional level, even when they were pushing me to. Because I just felt like that was not where I was. I'm a very good singer. So most times when I dream, I see myself stand holding a mic like this, but I always felt I was singing. But time has shown me that it wasn't singing really, but it was impacting and talking to people. So I started talking, trying to talk. My father wanted me to work with immigration. They had already arranged the details and all. But my husband said, this is not who you are. No, this doesn't befit you. I know where you're supposed to be, and this is not it. May God help us with good partners. May God help us with insightful partners, so that even when we get to the end of ourselves, they will say, no, don't do this, don't make this wrong move. So I started talking online, just using my little space to just say one or two words to people, trying to encourage people. People started coming to my DMs. At some point, one of the things that was like a defining moment for me and was really shocking was when something I was willing to give for free. People came and said, how much do I have to pay you to have a one-on-one moment with you? People were willing to pay for what I was giving for free. That's when I was like, okay, this is beautiful. And at this point is where I would tell women, what value do you have to give to people? Because as long as you have value, as long as you have value and you're solving a need, I don't think you will ever lack. You can never be broke. Don't lie down in your pain. That thing you're going through, I feel like every time God gives us a challenge, it's because He wants us to learn, equip ourselves, and then go out and help other people know how to navigate that challenge. That's what God does. So most times it looks ugly at that moment, but it's not ugly. It's a learning moment for you, so you can go out there and be a signboard of who or how life can be when you don't give up facing some challenges. And then before I go, please be stubborn. You have to be stubborn as a woman. They will tell you a lot of things that you cannot do. Please, I would like for you to let them know that you can, in fact, do them. I am very stubborn, of course, backed by my husband. My husband has no issue. I am so stubborn. If you ever tell me you can't walk through this door, women don't walk through this door, I will walk through this door 1,000 times. Don't give up, and please be stubborn. God bless you. Thank you so much.